Welcome back, you beautiful brave hearts. For some of you, it's good morning, some it's good afternoon, some of it's good evening. And just know this, the topic we're going to be talking about is save the bees, save the planet. Oh, no, wait a minute. That's wrong, Daryl. It's not save the bees, save the planet. It's save the bees, save yourself, okay? And understand something. Remember when they told us, oh, it's the end of the world as we know it. One more time. You know, they've been telling us about the end of the world and climate change and fake viruses and everything else just to try to scare us continually. Well, I will tell you that as we know it, okay, the 5G, 6G, okay, all right, all of this EMF out there, okay, because bees vibrate at such a high level, okay? And whether you want to believe this or not, the Third World War is being fought, okay, with blue light and with frequencies that you can't see. And understand something, just to tell you this much, you see the phone I'm on, okay? The phone that's here, the phones that are here, okay? The LED lighting, the TVs, the computers, even when you go to a movie, okay? They're all blue light, and that's all poisoning. And, you know, they could have built, you know what? Do you want to know something? They could have built your Wi-Fi. They could have built the transmission of phones, okay? The frequencies, all with healing frequencies. Somehow these psychos, okay, were given the keys and to put us down on our knees. And it's up to us to think outside the box and outsmart them. They strategize. That's what they do. They strategize because guess what keeps human beings enslaved? By dumbing them down. Blue light dumbs you down, okay? EMF dumbs you down. All the poison in the air and the water and the food dumb you down. And you even dumb yourself down when you go on their TV and you listen to their BS news. So the reality is that's how they harness us. And when I say harness, that's like putting a harness on an oxen and saying, go out and work, and then you come home exhausted and tired because you don't even know you're getting beat up by things. Why am I talking about all this? Because I've got Brent on the line, and Brent actually came up with what we call a pure wave magnet. Can you get me that, would you, Lori? Yeah. It's called a pure wave magnet, and he doesn't just have a pure wave magnet that goes in, and not only do these bee colonies not at the end of a season die off, not only do they not die off, but guess what? He's figured out a way with a pure wave magnet, okay, how to actually double their colonies. So now you have to split them and now have 2 more colonies, 2 more hives. And not just that. I have what's called, okay, where I used to call it the chiroplate, where I would take a saucer, which I'm going to do tomorrow morning early, okay? I'm going to show you how to open up your neck, and I'm going to show you how to actually do what's called the crab stretch and open up your neck, show you how to clap your neck and how to get rid of headaches and things of that nature. And I'm going to show you tomorrow that I've replaced it. I replaced it for about a year ago. Instead of using a plate, I used the same magnet that I use to purify my foods, to keep my foods fresh in the fridge. He's going to talk about all this. The same magnet that I put under my pillow to get rid of tinnitus and have a better sleep. The same magnet that I move along my body to help to reduce pain, okay? And he's going to tell you what the science is behind it. But the reality is that same magnet, he's got 360 of them. And guess what? Already, when he puts this one magnet in a beehive, it doesn't just keep the bees healthy. It actually creates the highest vibrational healing honey on the planet. Goodbye, Manuka. It's great. It's great. And Manuka is mainly not something you ingest inside, but you put it on your body for wounds. Well, guess what does better wound healing than Manuka honey? That's right. Honey that heals. And that's the honey that we sell at store.docofdetox.com. And if you want to take advantage of this, we have our Black Friday sale on right now. If you think that we've given you enough scientific fact at the end of this little show that we're doing with you with Brent, okay? So let's put it this way. Everything is vibration. Everything is frequency, okay? And if you don't get that, then you don't get anything because you came in as a light energy, electrical, magnetic being, That's right. You're going to leave that way too, and you're going to dump this monkey suit. Okay, but while you're here, you need to make sure that you love this and you take care of this and you protect this against those that are attacking us. Brent, what do you think?
Hey, well said. And on that note, first of all, thanks for having me here, and hello everybody out there to the Bravehearts. And it's good seeing you again. I haven't seen you for a while, Daryl, but this is great.
Well, but on the run.
Sorry? Go ahead.
Bun on the run.
Yeah, I will always. But I want to get back to what you were saying about how blue light and frequencies and, how they could have had everything as healing frequencies. So let's go to the beginning here as to how this works with the pure wave cell. In my background of over 25 years ago, when I was fooling around with algorithm frequencies of how to move money, which i.e. debit, credit machines, and so forth like that. But that's what really led me. That's what originally was the background that led me to understand that I read this article that changed my life on how when they sent astronauts into space in the 50s, their whole bodies started to ache. And the reason they ached is they were outside the PEMF, pulse electric magnetic frequency of the Earth, right?
Right.
Which is a combination of geomagnetic frequency and Schumann, which is lightning strike. And that's what encompasses our Earth for every man, insect, animal, doesn't matter. Everything that has a cell is affected by this. So back to what you were saying about how we could make that healthy for us, that's where I went. So 25 years ago, I went on this journey of going, wait a minute. If everything is frequency, and we know it is, that means disease, doesn't matter what it is then how can I manipulate that frequency for optimum cellular healing? In other words, we eat food as frequency, but it gets manipulated through our bodies and so forth. But how can we go directly to the cell and start feeding it, whether it be an insect, a human being, an animal, doesn't matter. So the first thing I had to come up with is that you take these frequencies that we're working with, which is the Earth frequency. So let's start there. And then I was going, well, what do I need to be able to bend those frequencies to my will, and how can I glue them together? Well, there's only one way to do it, is that you've got to take very specific shapes, i.e., is like sacred geometry shapes, and you've got to have the Earth magnetic field, i.e. magnets. In my case, it's neodymium magnets, where I take that magnetic force and I glue those shapes together in the magnetic force, right? So that you can picture this, everybody. Picture how this works. I want to take a healing frequency that only builds up your cells, and then I want to be able to hold that frequency in a form that you can then have it around you all the time or be exposed to it. So that was the magnetism. Once I discovered what magnets or what degree of glue, how to hold it, and then what shapes formed that was best for our cells. Now our cells work very specific. They attract very specific frequencies that build them up, which is what we just talked about. So through trial and error, I went through and got this pure wave cell that Daryl showed you. Just you can put it up again.
Yeah, I will, but I'll show them the wave. Look at this. You see this, everyone?
Yes.
Now, this is not the shape of the magnets the way he did it, because the shape of the magnets in this is the flower of life, the Fibonacci frequency. This here is the energy that comes off. Okay, so just know this. When we were coming through, because I travel a lot with this, I don't go anywhere with it. I want it on the plane with me too, because it really helps. And the reality is, when we were going through the second last time, I'll show you what actually showed up on their screen. And they didn't take it from me, but they went, whoa, what is this? They shut down the whole line, where you put your stuff through to go to customs to fly. Well, this is what they saw on their screen. And they didn't know what that was. And what is that, Brent?
Yeah, so what that is that now you understand. So when I use that geometric shape, which inside, and on your videos, Daryl, people will be able to see more of this.
Yeah, you guys can go, if I can say this, Brent, just know if you miss any shows, You can either go to Doc of Detox on Telegram the next day, but all of Brent's shows and all his trainings and all the new science about the honey and about the magnets, how you can use them not just for the beehives, but for your family to get them, to keep them healthy, okay, is going to be found in the Honey That Heals guide, okay, in my library, okay, docofdetox.com. Go ahead, Brent.
Okay, so again, for people, just follow. I'm keeping this as straightforward so you can just, it's really, really non-complex. We don't want to make this complex. So where did this flower of life or geometries come from? So what happens is they are really the constructs of atoms themselves. So once we start fooling at the atom, because the atom is the building block of everything you've ever known, every rock, tree, our universe, everything. So basically what I wanted to do is work with those building blocks and then produce the algorithm frequencies that our cells just fill up with, right? It just takes those little batteries and charges them up. And when we do that, the body can heal itself. The bees can heal themselves. They can basically, what we've done with bees is that we expose them nonstop to these frequencies, and their immune systems go right up through the roof, so they produce more honey. They're less susceptible to disease. So that's what's happening with the bees and how we're doing that. But
if I can say something, Brent, just so everybody understands, because some people don't, okay, everything is made up of atoms. We have trillions and trillions of atoms. Atoms are so small you can't see them, but inside of them there's nothing. Oh yes, there is. There's a tornado of energy. And what the magnet does, it creates more energy in this tornado that creates this more powerful field of protection and healing for the human body. Go ahead, Brent.
Absolutely. And you know what? On that note, Daryl, what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to get you another segment video that I did.
Okay.
What it did is it put everybody, so it put you, me, and everybody that we're talking to under a microscope. And what it did is it showed the first cell that you wear. You know what the first thing you did? All of us, and I have this on film, is we became the flower of light. That's the first thing that we formed.
Boom.
That's the very first thing. Boom.
Boom.
And so that's how I copied it. That's how I found out that it was the building block of all of us, of everything. So that's what I wanted to tie into. The moment I did that, magic started to happen all over the place. Now, all of a sudden, whether it's your pets, or whether it's the bees, or whether it's you, and whether it's your food, because all the food says is that you have those pathogens in there. All we're doing is reconstructing and neutralizing them, right? So that they're not going in and doing weird things. Daryl was just saying about we're all exposed to Wi-Fi and all this stuff. So we need to counter that with proper frequencies that our cells, because our cells are bombarded, right? As you said, there's 80 trillion cells in your body, and guess what? In each cell, there's another 50 trillion atoms, all exploding energy out of there. So when we go in and start to deal at a cellular level, your body heals itself. Your body is given that stress relief, right? So that's what's going on with that little cell that's going on there, because it non-stops put out those frequencies that are doing that. So you use it for your food. You use it for your pets. We have people that are having pets that their pets are stealing it from each other and sleeping with it. And again, we're going to have videos.
What do you mean? The pet, one pet will steal the magnet and take it over to his bed?
Yeah, they're stealing it from each other, then putting it in their bed and sleeping with it, right? So it's hilarious. And then again,
it's like the same thing I do with Lori. It's the same thing I do with Lori. I steal hers.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. And what is happening with the bees is nothing short of a miracle. So we will have nonstop testimonies from the beekeepers explaining what Daryl is talking about. So this is all going to be on with Daryl to be able to do this down the road. But we just want to let you know where this is coming from and why it works. It works, and I think this will be profound, Daryl. I'm going to get you that clip that shows how we all start, and it's live. So what it is that it starts with you as a one cell, and it shows what you break into, not just us, but animals, frogs,
everything.
insects, everything. And that's why we know it's the blueprint that we're working from, right? And once you get, as you know out there, once you got a formula or a recipe, once we've got it right, it works every time, right? And this is what it is. So don't take lightly on what we're talking about here or what he's showing you, how simplistic it is. We just have to do a better job of communicating it and showing you at a very structured level how this is working, right? So this is what we're dealing with, and we'll continue. Now, where the honey's concerned, once we've got into building up all those bee immune systems, it's like anything, whether you're dealing with a healthy cow, whether you're dealing with healthy fruit, whatever. Once we get it set that honey is incredibly produced, then we also treat it with the frequency itself that we're working with, and that's the honey that he has for you, right? That's why it's called energized, pure wave energized honey. That's what it is. There's nothing like it on the planet because nothing else treats. And on some of Daryl's videos, it'll actually, and taste, top line. The taste is, you don't have to worry about substituting taste for this.
You'll never taste honey like you taste this honey. And guys, I'm not kidding. We don't do it often, but it's on our Black Friday sale because the honey's already not expensive, and either is the Pure Wave magnet for what it should be. But this is what Brent wants. He wants it out to the world. But once you, I'll tell you something. Once you use this honey in your tea, in your coffee, once you put this honey into anything, or even on a really great piece of really great bread and a little bit of butter in this honey, I'll tell you, you know what? You don't need to have any other sugar treat that's going to hurt you, because honey will never hurt you. Honey will never feed a cancer cell. It is antifungal, antiparasitical. It is antibacterial. Okay, it will not hurt the human body. Okay, it is nature's honey. Even a cancer patient will never be hurt by taking honey in, because honey, it actually, the molecule goes to the left where processed sugar goes to the right. And so it will not hurt you. So get rid of that conception, okay? Now, if I ate the whole jar, of course, my sugar level's going to pop through the roof, but understand it will never turn on you, okay?
Yeah. Well, and well said, but here's another one, and everybody can relate to this. What the body doesn't recognize, it stores, right? So that's why all other sugars and the sugars you're getting, that's why the obesity, because it goes, I don't know what this is. It knows what maple syrup is. It knows what honey is. It knows what certain structures are. It won't store that, right?
That's
so
right.
You're not going to be building
obesity and being overweight. If you're 10 pounds overweight, that's 10 pounds of inflammation and infection created by trying to store the sugar. Remember something, the bigger you are, the fatter you are, the more cellulite you have, okay? And even the more scar tissue and displaced calcium in your body is all of that sugar's job destroying you. But it won't happen with this.
Nope. No, and as you said with the cell, putting it under your pillow or your bed, what it does is reduces inflammation. Why would it reduce inflammation? Because it goes in at a cellular level and starts to repair those cells, right? That's it. Inflammation is the retardation or the turning of the cell where it doesn't recognize, and it starts to swell out. So basically that's why it works so well on the body. But my biggest frustration is making sure that I get better and better at being able to show you out there as opposed to tell you, because we're all told a bunch of things, but I want to get better and better at showing you why this simple way of going about working with frequencies will be our future. Our past has been, and our present is dealt with chemistry. So when we deal with pharmaceuticals, what is our medical system? It's on a chemical base, right? Our future is physics. That's where we got to go. We have to go to physics. Physics is frequency. Now, maybe some of you don't remember because you're too young, but there used to be a situation when you went in to get diagnosed, they used to do what was called exploratory surgery. They used to cut you open to find out what was wrong with you. Well, they don't do that now. Now what they do is they do CAT scans, right? MRIs. Well, what is that? That's frequency medicine. So
radiation. That's radiation.
Yeah, they use frequency to diagnose, but to treat, what do? They don't use frequency to treat. They use drugs, they use chemo, they use everything else but. So it's still all Newtonian. So remember, we're already halfway there, but frequency is the future, right?
Yeah,
There
and if
are
I can say
cases-
something, Lori and I always set our food on here for 10 minutes. Okay?
Yeah.
All right? And when we go to a restaurant, we put our food on here that we eat at a restaurant for 10 minutes. When we're not using this magnet here, pure weight magnet during the day, it's in the fridge because it will help your fresh fruits, vegetables, and food last days later, and even your leftovers, so that they don't get bacterial, fungal problems. Are you with me? So it has a lot of work. It works 24/7. It's in the fridge during the day. Tomorrow I'm going to come on live and show you how to open up your occiput, your neck, get rid of neck pains and help against whiplash and headaches and migraines with it. And the reality is it can go under your pillow. It can lay on your abdomen if you feel sick to your tummy, or you can put it up against your leg if you've got inflammation of your leg. Go ahead, Brent.
Yeah, no, exactly. But why does it do that? So we're back into the food, right?
Yeah.
It will nonstop. Plus, let's put it this way as well. Those magnets are so specific that they won't lose their strength. Some magnets on lower qualities will lose, they'll lose 30-40% of their magnetism over a 4-year period. This 20 years loses maybe 1% of its magnetism.
Did
So
you get that,
this goes
everybody?
along-
20 years, 1%. You're not,
Yeah.
anything that the Doc of Detox touches is the best in the world. And if it isn't, I want to know what it is.
Yeah. And so back to your food, everything that Daryl has just said to you, that's all lab tested. That's not us, fooling around and thinking. We put this in food labs. This is specifically what it will do to foods and different pathogens. It'll change differently, but it always reduces. And so and also the food preservation. These are all tested things. So you don't have to be concerned and say, well, does that do that or doesn't? Just use it. Unfortunately, you can't see those things with your eyes, but you're going to see it through how long that food lasts. And you're going to feel it because you're not taking regular food that you're buying from the grocery store. It's covered with all kinds of pathogens in there, probably 15 different ones. And a lot of people only experience it as mild food poisoning. They think, that was like a little indigestion. No, you were just mildly food poisoned, right, is what was happening, right? It just wasn't major. So that's why it's so important to use these. And, we clean our water. Well, how do we clean our food? We can only do it through frequency, right? Because it's on an inside basis. So we're excited to keep bringing you more and more testimonials. This is because we're new at coming out and bringing this information. So I need lots of people who have told us things. So we're putting it on camera and showing you what results you're getting from this.
Yeah,
so
but
I'm very excited.
Brent, if I can say something, I want you guys to know something. These guys are science geeks. So when Brent says that everything is, these are actual real studies, real tests. Everything you do is a real study and a real test, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
you even got Dr. Magda Havas involved, and she's world renowned. Okay, the Rose Laboratory out of Toronto, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's out of Peterborough, just north
Peterborough,
of Toronto, and
yeah.
she'll by next year we'll have completed bee studies done on honey production, everything that's going on with the immune system. It's already there, but I think it's going to be posted in Nature magazine, so it'll go to the highest level at that time.
Boom.
In the spring.
Yeah.
Right. So we want you to know as an audience out there, we're not out here to hawk stuff to sell you things that we're fooling around with. This is very specific. That's why we stick to it, but more importantly, how this is easy to use too, because it has to be easy in your life. You can't be, struggling to try and figure out how to use this stuff, right? So it couldn't be simpler with this. And it comes with its manual to explain all the different aspects that you can use it for, and it's simple. Just expose it. Just put your food, and you can put a plate on that food, like the food on the plate, and put it on so that you can put a lot of stuff. You bring home your meat, chicken, fish, very important, right? So this is so practical in your life, and you'll use it year in and year out. This isn't a novelty item.
And if I can say something, everyone, I want to come back to this again. Hey, panic, panic, panic. You know, guess what? When I first heard that the bees were dying, and if they die, we're dead, you know what? But don't you guys ever notice something? They try to undermine us, and then somebody always trips on the answer. Please stop panicking. Get rid of fear. Just know your government was there to just undermine your whole life. They work for these psychos. And I'm not a controversial guy. I'm not a political guy. I'm just trying to tell you the truth. Okay? I'm just trying to tell you the truth. The people that control the government, the medical system, and all the other systems out there, because health is now corporate. It's corporate all the way, and people are being sold off by the pound. People are getting surgery when they don't need them, taking drugs when they don't need them, and it's because they were getting drugs. They were getting drugged in their water, their food, and in the media continually. So guess what? I get it. You can't do better till you know better, but just understand something. Okay, this is planet Earth, a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure for those people that actually wake up and decide that self-love and self-care is the program of the day. Brent?
Yeah, no, well said. Well said. And the thing is, take heart, everybody, because there is always the answer, and it's usually simple. It's on observation. All we have to do is look how it's supposed to work, and then start to get the principles of how we can structure it to work for us, right? So it's because, as Daryl said, we're so distracted by the negative. All it is nonstop. We never ever step aside to go, oh, it's just simple. Look at. We don't even get a chance to step back and look at nature and pay attention and observe and go, no. That's how it works. This is how it works, and then we start to use that, and it works like a charm. It comes in, the body responds. It's so incredibly simple how it works. But we have to put it together so that we can use it. And that's where I've spent the last 25 years, is taking that original thought, right? When I saw that how those astronauts used to get an achy body when they went outside, and then coming back in, this is what got it figured out, right? So we're really happy to bring this to you, right? And more to come, more to show you what it's doing and what people are experiencing.
See, you guys are so lucky when you get with these science geeks who, and then you get a guy like me. I know how to reach the people on a healthy level and how to get it out there, right? But then they're behind the scenes, and I just take all the credit. Isn't that cool?
Well, you're such a good-looking guy. Why not, right?
I'm kidding. We got to have fun, we got to have fun. I am such on the tear. I mean, we take off for Mexico on Saturday morning, so, yeah. And I'm going to be building a studio there, like a beautiful studio. I'll have my studio back. Right now, my studio is a ring and 4 phones. That's it. But you know what? This is all makeshift, and it's worked for the tour. And then I'll be building a really beautiful studio in Ixtapa, Mexico. And I'll be building another studio here in United States when I'm grounded. But you know what? We started all over again. And I'll have you on a lot, because the tour starts in Mexico. And every place I go to, you come on and let these practitioners know that there's just something amazing out there, right?
Well, and also, Daryl, in all sincerity, I couldn't do this without people like yourself, because I get, in my world, I get buried into seeing these things work and how they're going and making sure that they're working. But for going out to all of your audience, your wonderful practitioners and people, it requires someone like yourself to be able to communicate, to be able to get it through, to be able to make them see, us have tools to make them see that it's working and how it's working. And then, that's how we get the word out, right? Without you, there's no communication. And all to the amount of the people that follow you. So it's the team, because I'm in the background working these things, but then you're there to be able to get it out to the people that can really benefit from it, right?
Absolutely.
And I'm buried in bee yards and with all kinds of beekeepers and doing studies, but that's no good if it doesn't get out to everybody, right? So this is a miracle to work with.
And can you leave everybody with one last thing? Because you guys, you know what? A sales pitch is a sales pitch is a sales pitch. And I'm not trying to sales pitch you, but guess what? This honey is different than anything you'll ever put in your mouth. I want you to tell them why. Because you take like what, 360 of these magnets, right?
Yes, actually, and again, if they go to your videos,
which you'll find
yeah,
it.
So where it is on yours, I don't know where it is on your site, but it's
it's all laid out when they go. So when they go to docofdetox.com,
right.
They go into the library, they click on the B guide, and in there, all the videos are all outlined, all the information, all the science is right there for them. Okay?
Yeah, so then what they're going to find is we're going to show that after we extract the honey from the hives that have the pure wave cells, we then treat them, and this is raw. We don't that honey is not heated. And then what we do is we take it, and I have what's called a chrysalis energizer, which is the mother load of these magnets, and we show you a corona discharge where we show you the honey before we treat it and after. It's completely energized, like you've never seen. There's nothing else like it. And we actually show you it. So you're not just told, you see it, and you'll see what kind of instrument, and I'll explain it to you on the video. Much better because you see it as opposed to sitting here telling you. And that's what makes this honey so different, because your cells go, wow, they instantly react to it, right? And so that's what we're looking. We want to get to you at a cellular level, because then everything works. Everything, that's your immune system. That's what saves us, right? That's how our body is meant to work. It knows how to fix us. There's just so much interference. That's why it's having a hard time, right?
Thank you, Brent. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right, my friend.
So everyone, Brent, I guess I'll be calling you, okay, in just a few. All right?
Yeah, please. Okay.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
See you later. Okay.
Thanks, Brent. Hey, I want to thank everybody for joining me. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the bee's knees. Okay, it truly is the bee's knees. Hey, try the things I tell you to try, and then let me know what you think. My phone number is 469-861-8884. And if you've got health questions, you can call my phone. People are very polite, though, too polite. They hardly ever call me. Like when I say this, I keep thinking my phone's going to ring off the hook. Usually I get about 20 calls a day, but everybody gets called back. And if you don't get called back, then you're going to call me again. Okay? You're going to call me again. You're never a bother. You're not a bother to people that their passion is helping people. And I mean that. You get a consultation from us. Right now, they're even on sale. They're only $150 for lifetime support from a master trainer. That's right. And you get a 1-hour consult. We send you the audio. We give you a 400-page PDF. It's the best of my work over 40 years. It's all take action. It shows you what emotion causes that disease, what you need to do, what strategies you can do, how to work with your family, how to work with yourself. It's got the perfect day diet in, on an emotional, physical, nutritional level, and exercising. And understand things like the ultimate coffee enema, clapping, vaginal infusion, therapeutic vomiting, where we explain everything, why you can reverse the irreversible, get rid of all the BS, okay? Because dysfunctional belief systems, or otherwise what I'd like to say is, bad science. That's BS, isn't it? Bad science, there's a lot of it out there. So we want things to be 1 and 1 or 2, not 11, okay? All right, so somebody's asking here. Yes, I'm going to say it one more time. That's it. Yeah, we'll have our sale on. It's over a week from this Friday. That's our Black Friday sale. And everything, it's our biggest sale of the year. And but first of all, everyone, here we go. We're getting into it. Things are going to get hectic. Don't let it get hectic. Stay connected to your breath. Don't rush in here, okay? Don't rush in here. Calm yourself down. Please do me a favor. Try to see where you can say no to things that you don't have time for, because you're stealing time from being with yourself, caring for yourself. Say no to the things you should say no, and say yes to the things you should say yes. The world has tried to make you feel like when you start looking and caring after yourself, it's a selfish act. The world has tried to make you feel guilty that you don't reach the mark and you'll never make the mark. Well, trust me, you make the mark with me. You don't know better until you know better. You can't do better until you know better. So you got to get that. Don't listen to the BS of anyone, whether it's a system out there playing you or whether it's your family or friends. Don't let anybody push you around again. Always start with, you know what? I really love you, but I'm not doing this anymore. I really love you and I'm not doing this anymore. I need to start caring for myself, and when I love and care for myself, I'll be able to do that much better for everybody else. And that's the bottom line, okay? All right? I will be coming on next week when I'm in Mexico, and I'm going to go through all the strategies that you need to do for this time of year so you don't get kicked in the rear. So let me leave this with you. I am healed, I am loved, I am Braveheart. Today and every day, from the moment I rise until I gently close my eyes, I will love, respect, protect, and honor myself first and foremost before anyone else or anything else. So help me God, okay? Because I am, I can, I am healed, I am loved, I am Braveheart. Have a beautiful day. God bless.